Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again. And I'm here at the Huawei spot. I coined it. This is now the new spot where I review Huawei phones. And that's right, we're here with another Huawei phone on Frankie Tech. And that is the Nova 5 Pro. Oh yeah! And the Nova 5 Pro I'm reviewing is the 8GB 256 gig of ROM. And this is the, I guess, green version. I don't remember the name of the phone, but your first look on Frankie Tech of the Nova 5 Pro. There it is in all its glory. Probably the most beautiful green colored phone I've ever seen. And by the way, guys, if you don't know, green is my favorite color. I went to Notre Dame. I'm a big fan of the Fighting Irish. This is more of an emerald green, but I do like more of a Kelly green, but this is a beautiful color. Now, let's talk a little bit about this phone and why it's taken me so long to review this. I could have bought this phone, guys, 5 to 6 days ago. Why did I not review this phone? Well, the major reason was, as you can see here, Google apps cannot be installed on this phone. But you may be asking, Frankie Tech, but I see the Play Store there. I see Google Camera. What are you talking about? Well, watch this. And this, by the way, from all of my guys, every single person in phone world, every single reseller, every single wholesaler, every single person in the tech space who has handled this phone. And let me tell you, in Hong Kong, this is their bread and butter, is to try to get Google apps installed on their phones. Watch what happens when I press the Play Store. Yeah, now watch that again. Now watch it again. There you go. See, it's crashed several times. Now watch Google. Watch Google. Now, a few apps do work, like Studio does work. You need to get Google Play services, and Chrome does work as well. But the point I'm trying to make here is that Google apps do not run on this phone. I asked you guys in the comment if you wanted to see me review this phone, and guess what? Here it is. And so I'm going to do as best I can to review this phone without Google apps. Let's jump right into it. Design, display, performance, and we'll talk about audio, and then a quick Frankie Tech camera shot. Design. Look, guys, it wasn't about the design of this phone, why I didn't want to review it. I could have bought this phone 5 days ago. I could have reviewed this a long time ago, but I didn't because of the Google issues. But hardware-wise, this thing doesn't disappoint. It's a beautiful device. I love that there's like a kind of a chamfer on the edge here. I like that. It's almost like they're doing the P30, but on the sides versus on the top. So that is a welcome sight. This emerald green, I guess it's kind of like a mint green color, is absolutely beautiful. And honestly, when I'm holding this phone, I feel like I'm holding the P30 Pro. It gives me that vibe. And the only difference being that this is kind of a matte edge versus being a kind of glossy edge on that phone. Let's look around here. The major thing you notice that's missing is that headphone jack. There's no headphone jack. USB-C, mics, nothing on this side. You got your SIM tray, volume rocker, and power button. And then you have your quad camera setup on the back. You have an ultra-wide telephoto, main sensor, and your depth sensor, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check that. Look, this phone, design-wise, is looking great, with the only negative being this pretty pronounced notch. I mean, this notch is big. This is not a nice notch. Like, I'm not liking this notch at all. The Mi 9, so many other phones have better notches than this, but I will give them props. At least the bottom bezel isn't too big. So it looks okay, but it's, at least from a design perspective, it's not winning any awards, man. We have $200 phones now that are, that are bringing bezel-less displays to the table. But speaking of displays, we have a very nice Amoled display on this device, 6.39 inch, looks pretty good. Viewing angles look good, and in sunlight, you see it here. What's the max brightness of this device? Let's have a look, and we're gonna have to swipe from the top. Oh, that is max brightness already. Okay, so you see there, it is nice. I do like the wallpaper, and I do like just the fact that it is AMOLED. Now, I forgot to remember to tell you guys the price. I paid just under 4,000 Hong Kong dollars, so like 3,800 Hong Kong dollars for this phone. The sad part about my life, guys, I live in Hong Kong. I don't live in China, so I don't get the phones almost immediately. I get them pretty close after they come out, but I don't get them like walking into the store. But then again, I'm in Hong Kong, the greatest city in the world, so I don't mind being in Hong Kong. And so let's talk about performance of this phone. Kirin 980, 8 GB of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. This thing is a beast. This thing is basically, I don't think I've handled a phone as powerful as this one since the Mate 20 Pro that I handled end of last year, which had the same specs. As you can see, all the China apps are installed. I don't live in China, I live in Hong Kong, so we don't use any of these apps, guys. Just a little kind of lesson here. We don't use any of these apps in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a free economy. Hong Kong has Facebook, Google, it has Instagram. You can use all those services here. So I don't use Baidu, I don't use any of that stuff. Just a little lesson here to you guys. So if you're watching other videos where they're not using your typical apps, you know why. I'm in Hong Kong, I use the same apps that we use in the rest of the world. So that's why these are important to me, but not being able to access them is a major deal. But beyond that, dude, performance, this phone looks snappy as hell. And let's just show you guys what system it is running real quick right here. It is running 9.1.1. There it is. And we have the Kirin 980, 8 GB of RAM, 256 gigs. This is the top of the line, and it's going to do a great job regardless. The one negative there is that, yeah, there's no headphone jack. Real negative. And I think considering the price of this phone, you wish it did. If it's competing with like OnePlus, with certain devices, I don't think the OnePlus 7 has a headphone jack, but if it's competing with like the K20 Pro and other phones, that is a negative. And let's wrap it up now with the classic Frankie Tech camera shot. Looking at the interface of this phone, obviously there's night mode. At this price, there better be. But the thing I really want to see is more the zoom options here. I've used the P30 Pro quite a bit this year, and just want to see what we have. So we do have a wide angle, that's very nice. Take a photo, looks good. Sorry, juggling this in my hands. And then 1x zoom, take a photo, and let's do a quick 2x zoom while we're at it. Do the same shot this way. Okay, so let's have a look at these shots real quick. And so I am sure that this phone is using, if it isn't using the Sony IMX586, I'll be shocked. It probably is. But I love Huawei with their camera. Dude, Huawei is the ultimate camera OEM. It's like, it is the OEM that is pushing the boundaries on camera quality. And just from that, I can already tell that this is a great camera. Now, is it to the level of the P30 Pro? Probably not, but I'm sure this is a better shooter than you get on most phones, including the OnePlus 7 Pro and the K20 Pro. I'm sure this is a better camera overall. And so that's it, your first look here on Frankie Tech of the Huawei Nova 5 Pro. Now, this is a phone I really did not want to review. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. If it was up to me, if it was my own personal decision, if I was just walking into a store, wanted to buy this phone, and they told me it couldn't get Google Apps, I wouldn't buy it. And I wouldn't review it. And so you guys may be wondering, Frankie Tech, why are you reviewing this phone? Well, I'm a man of the people. I listen to you guys. I put the question out there. Almost 1,000 of you responded in the comments, and the overriding response was review this phone. So I will review this phone. I will give it the full treatment as well as I can here on Frankie Tech, despite the Google Apps situation. But just know, I do not plan on keeping this phone for very long. I need Google Apps to use it as my daily driver. I rely on apps like, Facebook. I rely on apps like Instagram, just like all you guys. And I need those apps just to go through my day. I don't live in China. I don't use all of these other apps. I don't use Baidu. I'm not on WeChat every day. I'm on WhatsApp. I'm on Instagram. I'm on iMessage. I'm on those apps. So just know that, guys, when I say this. I would love to review this phone, and I will be giving it the full treatment, but probably not a long time phone for me here. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. So guys, I was just walking through the mall earlier, the phone mall here in Hong Kong, and I went to a number of stores and I had questions about which phones they are looking at, which phones they are worried about that will not have Google apps. It seems as if this Google apps, this Huawei ban extends to other phones potentially as well. They even told me just now that the Mi 9, the CC9 from Xiaomi may not have Google App support initially, and they are worried about it because it is something that they are actively following. These guys make their bread and butter, make their living off of selling phones to guys like me here in Hong Kong, and if they're worried about it, you should be too. So I'll keep you posted on those updates here on this channel. Frankie Tech, your latest source for whether Google apps, whether, compatibility on these China releases are going to be, working for your needs in the world around, because that's where you guys are from. I have very few viewers from China, probably. They don't have YouTube, so how the heck are they supposed to watch my channel? But for all you guys outside of China, and who are looking into these phones, I want to be a resource for getting the information of whether Google apps work on these phones. And as you can see here, Google apps definitely don't work on these phones. So stay tuned for my updates. And if I do get any updates on this phone, I will let you guys know. If I do get Google apps, it'll be a very happy thing for me because I want to fully review this phone with Google apps. But if not, I'll give it my best take possible. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. No Google apps, man. How am I supposed to download, Gboard? How am I supposed to type on this thing? I hope we figure it out, guys. I hope we can figure it out.